Hello, SpeedGaming. Welcome to an exciting match in the Link to the Past Randomizer Hybrid Major Glitches tournament. My name is JD Silvergun, and joined on tracking, we have Mr. Byer, and we are very appreciative of that. So today, this is a lower bracket round 2 match between gabrieljcampos and ObscureLifeForm, and it should be pretty exciting, and it looks like we are about to get started any second here. Both runners opting for the Link's house start, pretty typical in glitched modes. Looks like we have an ice rod on the island. So, looks like Obscure is electing to pick that up later. Oh, they're both gonna get it later. Oh, interesting. Looks like we have a pendant eastern. And the green pendant swamp. Nothing under the bridge and nothing in Sahasrar's either. So pendant swamp, I mean, as a spectator, we'd probably need a refund or a reroll on this seed. I mean, for those that don't know, swamp is kind of the big deal in HMG. Unlocking it can be quite a debacle. Maybe a needed item will be in swamp, and they'll have to go there anyway. We have a book in Bonk Rocks, and Blue Mail in Ice Rod Cave. So Gabriel did a nice swim clip through the wall to get to Ice Rod Cave, and looks like we're going to Zora. I don't actually have the money to pay Zora, but we can still check the ledge and the waterfall. Very early entry to town by ObscureLifeForm. Normally in glitched modes, people like to put off going to town until later to try to find, you know, like a bottle, a flute, a powder, or something. Just because we do have so many places we can go already. Oh, Gabriel is gonna go for that ice rod, a nice sword in Blind's Hut. So by transitioning while standing on top of the screen transition, we get what's called a fought or funny auto-walk thing. So that's how he was able to reach the island and grab the ice rod. Looks like we had a fire rod for Obscure in town. So, no rod hunting today. Nothing on the lumberjack today, that is always good news. That is an item that still requires beating Aghanim, regardless of this being a glitched mode. Gabriel doing the lumberjack Death Mountain ascent over DMA. I think that was a bottle in Spectacle Rock Cave. Single arrow in desert for Obscure. I didn't see if we got the other item out of here, but we'll see what he decides to do. Meanwhile, Gabriel is rescuing the old man. Just a piece of heart on the old man. It looks like Obscure is going to go for the boss. Now, unless the boss drops a glove, he will be trapped in there and have to save and quit, but we can complete the dungeon, though. And Gabriel into Hera not finding anything but a map and compass, so this is pretty normal for this mode. Now, the logic expects us to come from Meyer to unlock the door. Although usually people will conveniently ignore that by doing Herapod, but we do not have the hookshot though. Nice kill on the boss by Obscure, and we get a compass and a crystal. Alright, it looks like we're back. So Gabriel got the red mail in Paradox, and I didn't see anything else noteworthy, and similarly, Obscure also appearing to not find anything in Mini Moldorm Cave. I see we have a shield, but that's a very minimal value, if any. Graveyard Ledge, DMD for Gabriel. More bombs. Well, bombs are always good if you don't have full. Did Obscure just try to jump off a diagonal ledge to waterwalk? Not sure what's going on, but he decided to reset up the waterwalk. Right, so we get a hula hand from Gabriel because when we descend the mountain in a way that is not intended, our camera is already offset enough to trigger that kind of a warp when we fall into any hole on the overworld. Oh, Obscure also not having enough money to pay Zora, so looks like both runners are leaving that behind. Obscure, finally going up the mountain after 12 long minutes of gameplay. I'm having a little bit of a mistake here, but it looks like he knows how to fix it. That's one of the ways. I think Gabriel is finally going to town, going to get that sword and fire rod, and I think Bombos might have been there as well. Obscure with the left side here at Blip. It is a bit slower, but it works. Obscure also getting the news that they are locked out of this dungeon. So if anyone's not aware, the logic expects you to clip through a wall in Mire and use the Mire big key to unlock the door in Hera in hybrid major glitches. We see that there is a red potion with a bottle on the Bombos tablet, or pardon me, the Ether tablet. I'm guessing this is a pod play from Obscure. Just wants to grab the item on the way. Oh, never mind. We are just grabbing the bottle because we want it, and then we were hovering across. Those flying fish are sneaky. You gotta watch out for those. Alright, this is the first time we're seeing Sick Kid on Gabriel's side, and just a heart container. But they don't have very many hearts, so full heart is good this early. Oh, I think Obscure, just because of the way he decided to route, left behind K45 and Agina, because clipping to reach the back of Desert and not having a glove resulted in being trapped. So it'll be interesting to see what Gabriel decides to do here regarding like this desert routing. Alright, so Ether was in Paradox Cave. Okay. We missed that the first time due to the stream reboot, but I don't think there was anything else here of value other than arguably the red mail. Okay, so this has got to be the pod play from Obscure. See a nice little screen wrap to try to get up the mountain a little bit faster, but it looks like we're having trouble with the second step here. Okay, there we go. Obscure really not trusting these mold arms. Right, so this is a bit of an older setup, and it looks like he's having a bit of trouble with it, but once we clip through this wall, we'll be inside the Palace of Darkness in Cave State. And Obscure remembering to open the door. I've forgotten that before. By virtue of Cave State, we can unlock small key doors, and opening that one just makes the routing cleaner. So, exiting and re-entering the dungeon gives us our proper dungeon state. And Gabriel is going to show us these overworld checks, it looks like. And again, I am quite confident we did not see this on Obscure's side. Okay, just a piece of heart in Agina's cave, so nothing that is going to be missed by Obscure. We definitely didn't... Yeah, I forgot about the Bombos tablet. Just because we don't have Master Sword, we can't actually get the item, but we can check the item. Okay, just some bombs. Ah, there's a sword in K45, so that's an unfortunate skip for Obscure. I mean, he could always decide to go back for it later. And it looks like we're getting a select buffer mimic clip. This is an interesting choice, given that we have keys, so we would be able to progress into other parts of the dungeon. There might even be a bow in the back, which would make this feel extremely silly. At least I would feel silly. It looks like we're making progress. I haven't seen the mimic pop back out, and Gabriel, after clearing the overworld around Desert, decides to go back for the boss. Okay, so we have clipped the mimic off screen and back on screen. But it was enough to open the door, nonetheless. On the right side of the pod, we have a flute. Interesting. And another small key. So that flute is by no means necessary, but it could be a potential time saver. Although, in this mode, the flute tends to only have value if you also have, like, regular Dark World access, like via, like, mitts and hammer. Otherwise, it doesn't really do a whole lot for you once you have cleared the light world. Outside of, like, situational things, like, you know, like the mushroom, that will speed that up. Alright, Gabriel completing Desert. So, we're all tied up at the moment with 1-to-1 crystals. Alright, so Gabriel's going to get his 30 pack of arrows and Sahasrara. And might also get the info about Swamp being the green pendant. It looks like Gabriel's leaving and not saving and quitting, so this looks like we're actually going to see some Eastern. Unfortunately, I missed if Obscure actually found anything other than the flute. I know we have the big key now. Okay, so we have one item in Eastern, 20 rupees so far. Obscure gets a map from the big chest in pod and saves and quits. Nothing else to do here. It looks like Obscure decides to immediately activate the flutes. Obscure has pretty well covered the light world. The only thing really left, other than what he skipped, the sword in K45, is Uncle and the castle. It's a bit surprising there was no progression in pod. I feel like that is typically a staple of this mode. Like, not always, but I feel like it usually happens. This Eastern play feels really bad on Gabriel's side. Like, it's a pendant, and we don't even know if this long trek to check the vanilla big key location is even going to be an item or not, I don't think. I didn't realize we hadn't done this yet on Obscure's side, but... Okay, that would explain why he was down, or why he went out of the way for that Spectacle Rock bottle, and Gabriel did not. Okay, so just a heart piece in Eastern Vanilla Big Key Chest. So this has got to be the castle, right? I think it is. Alright, Obscure checks the lumberjack. We know this is nothing. Just arrows and 20 rupees in the Uncle Passage today. Nothing that's gonna be helpful. Well, I think something has to be in this castle. I don't think we have anything left. Logically speaking, anyway. Shovel. Oh no. The shovel is so bad that Gabriel has decided to leap off the edge. Now, what he was doing was probably just planning a death warp. And being that he has red mail, it's a bit hard to die in the castle, given that this is the first area in the game. The Bombos tablet was checked by Gabriel, and it was just bombs. That is pretty unfortunate that Obscure skipped the sword in K45, though. I don't see when you get back to that, unless a mirror shows up, like during the Dark World loop. A glove in Zelda's cell. I guess that is our... Well, either way, it looks like we have logical access to the back via, you know, walking there, or now we could just use the glove. I apologize for the slight mismarking. We did have a stream restart, and it was a little bit of a struggle getting underway today, but yes, Gabriel did have the book. They both have it because it was in Bonk Rocks. It was one of the first items they got. Alright, this Dark Cross is just rupees, and Gabriel decides to save and quit. Going for the shovel before going for the back. I wasn't counting, but there should be at least 2 items in the back. And we know we had the key. Okay, so that is nothing at the flute location. Obscure choosing to open the door before saving and quitting is interesting. Leaving a potential out for a key steal if that's needed. Ah, okay, I forgot about this. So Gabriel rightly remembering about checkerboard, and it leads directly to the moon pearl. Obscure gonna show us the back of escape anyway, and curious if Gabriel's gonna get back to this. So the map and nothing. Alright, directly into the dark world for Gabriel via the Link's house portal. Gonna have to show us a bomb clip to get out of here, not having the hammer. Very nicely done, first try. That area can be a little bit annoying, given the flying enemies. And only has one bomb for Hype Cave, unfortunately. I mean, he could be hoping the guy gives him bombs. We're testing the tree pull, only getting small magic. That's unfortunate, but I like the idea, though. Obscure. Uh-oh. A little concerned. I think Obscure maybe thinks he already did Cave 45, or maybe he's coming back for it. Gabriel buying some overpriced bombs from the bomb vendor. Okay, looks like Obscure is going for Agina, which we know is nothing. Hopefully he remembers Cave 45. Looks like we didn't find anything in Hype Cave either. Okay, looks like Obscure did remember. I was just kind of... the reason why I thought he forgot is because normally you would save and quit out of Agina's because it's so many screen transitions. But this way still works, it's fine. We see a bow on Stumpy for Gabriel. Alright, very nice. So Obscure not leaving behind the sword. Alright, Mire Shed from Gabriel. We have nothing but rupees. Obscure having a lot of trouble getting over this wall. Okay, does get on top. It looks like we'll be following behind Gabriel through this portal. Okay, and I missed it, but our tracker has marked Quake as the Mire Medallion, which is very important to note. Especially because we don't know where that is yet. Flippers at the dig game. Okay. We don't know if that was required, but you're certainly not going to leave it behind. Now Gabriel's showing us one of the ways to skip the Mitz Rock, heading north into Village of Outcasts. Okay, so Thieves Town is a pendant. I am curious what Gabriel will decide to do here. Obscure also getting the bow off of Stumpy. A mirror in C-shaped house. That's another one of those items that's not required, but it's very, very nice to have. Especially before going into this dungeon, because I personally wouldn't want to full clear this, it being a pendant, and also not even having the hammer anyway. So I'd imagine we see the first 4, and then he decides to leave. Yes, to respond to the discussion in chat. Oh, nice hook shot for Gabriel in Thieves Town. Yeah. Obscure did scout the island early, but just decided not to grab it, and I imagine he's not forgotten, just probably didn't go out of his way for it yet, but as we now know, he's going to have to, given that Turtle Rock is one of our crystals today. I was surprised that neither of them grabbed it right away. Gabriel did go back for it later, though. Oh, Gabriel doing what I thought was a good idea, deciding to leave Thieves Town after the first 4, and now we are into Skull Woods. Okay, just a small key in the chest that normally has the big key, and it's like we're heading to the back. And Gabriel doing some forbidden dashing in the room with the small key. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just a thing that people talk about with regards to the vanilla speedrun. You're supposed to walk out of that room. It's faster for whatever reason. Okay, moth fight. Kind of a notoriously annoying fight due to the spike mechanics, but nonetheless a pretty quick one for Gabriel here. The reward is 20 rupees and a crystal. And Obscure following behind. Also did pick up the hook shot in Thieves Town. Alright, so just the map under the bridge for Gabriel. Looks like we're gonna dig out this other item, which makes sense. Ella changes his mind, decides to backtrack and use the mirror. We're checking the pedestal, which is just bombs, and I'm not surprised given this layout. Well, I guess we could have had a Samaria or something on ped, or maybe a hammer. Since the game does not expect you to have the hammer for swamp in this mode, it just makes it easier. So what do we actually need here? We need hammer for ice. We need Samaria for Mire and Turtle Rock. And it looks like that's gonna be it. Of course, they would like to find a lamp just to make life easier, but it's not going to be required. Alright, Obscure. Also getting the moth down. It looked like he got a little bit more of an unruly moth there, but I missed the start of the fight. But I cleaned it up nonetheless. Alright, my mistake. We already knew that the other item was just rupees from Obscure's side. Like, I saw him open it, but I just blanked. I didn't see what it was. So, nothing at all in Skullwoods other than the crystal. Alright, where are we going? Gabriel going back to Hera, maybe? Obscure going to Graveyard Ledge. Yeah, we saw this from Gabriel. This was nothing. A nice out-of-bounds entry to the Ether Tablet area from Gabriel. That's some 100% glitch tech. You usually don't see it very often, but it is a nice way you can go there. Alright, 300 rupees in whatever chest that is in Hera. I believe it's the compass. Normally. It's a bit of an annoying Moldorm. Alright, well, it does manage to finish him off without getting the enraged phase. Small key on the boss means big key is either in the basement or the big chest itself. So we have no idea where the other item is. And rightly deciding to leave, I agree with this. If the basement is, well, it just feels really bad doing the basement. More so than in a normal, like, non-glitched mode. Right? Doing the TR climb on Gabriel's side, but deciding to cross the mountain. Obscure also defeats Moldorm, keeping it tied 3-3 on crystals. Shot K for Gabriel. 20 rupees. Red potion. 20 rupees. And 20 rupees. So Gabriel going back for the red potion that he scouted earlier on Ether Tablet. I mean, it is a free safety, I guess, you know. Could also be thinking about what he wants to do next. Alright, this is the ice rod that we were discussing earlier for Obscure. In case you missed it the first time, this is a funny auto walk thing. The catfish DMD for Gabriel. I'm probably gonna check Zora after, I imagine. Yeah, we're setting up the quick warp. Yeah, just 20 rupees on catfish. Obscure also into the dark world on the mountain. Zora with the 1 green rupee refund. He's such a nice guy. Okay, back of escape for Gabriel. We know this is nothing already. Obscure into Super Bunny. Similarly, this is not going to be anything. So runners don't really have an obvious thing to do, which is why they're doing all these overworld checks. Looks like Obscure is dipping TR, and this is in logic, regardless of not having Samaria. However, the back is not in logic, even though we can access it by using the mirror. But the middle is perfectly in logic, though. Alright, so Gabriel going to pod. Going to pick up the flute, and 99% certain nothing else was here, but... Well, I'd say it's possible to finish the dungeon, but no, reasonably, it's not. Nobody is going to basement clip in the dark, I don't think. So this is going to be a dead end for Gabriel. Obscure into chain chomps. Just rupees there. Where are we going now? Oh, a lot of ice is in logic. Everything except for the boss. Of course, that's not very appealing, though. There's also Ganon's Tower. The first 3 checks are quite notorious for having progression in this mode, especially in a seed like this. It feels bad to go there just for that, though, but sometimes the game will do that to you, though. This is an odd spot for teleporting. I'm not used to seeing this, but he did show us earlier that this works on Obscure side. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that we need Quake as well, so we need 3 things, actually. My screen is too small, I can't see if that went okay, it was good. Because of the Discord restream. It's a small screen. Anyway. Well, it looks like Obscure is going to show us the first 3 checks of Ganon's... No, never mind. False alarm. This is a Pyramid Fairy setup. That looks a little bit low, but it should still be fine. So this is called Offset Mirror Portal. So by separating your global and local position, we are able to place a mirror a mirror portal. And it's somewhere on a different part of the map. And nothing for our trouble. So Gabriel is going to GT though. Lamp is something. Oh, we see the mitts on the pyramid ledge as well on Obscure side. Well, mitts is logical smith. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. The ice used to be in logic with flippers and not mitts, but now it requires mitts, so I was wrong when I said that ice was in logic earlier. But it certainly is in logic now. It looks like we're getting a climb from Gabriel, and given that the big key was here, I'm fairly certain anything he finds in the top is in logic. I'm not an expert on the small key logic of Ganon's Tower for non-key sanity seed, but in general, progression can be at the top of Ganon's Tower, so this might be what we need to do. Or it could also be Smith Chain. I also didn't count items in pod, so granted we can't logically get there, but Gabriel knows how to basement clip, and with that lamp he can see what he's doing now. I don't necessarily think that would be a great idea because we need the hammer anyway for ice, but, you know, it's something that can be done. Alright, where are we going on Obscure's side? I think it looks like Obscure is also going to GT. Unless we're getting a super jump or something like that. Nope. I'm trying to think. Logically, that lamp doesn't do anything. Because we don't even have the hammer for logical helm soar. And we can't logically, or we can't even get to other rooms where lamp is required by logic, like the ones in Wire, or we don't have Samaria for Turtle Rock either. Gabriel needs to be a little bit careful here. Not too careful, because with the red mail, he won't get one shot, but... Obscure also climbing. And this makes sense, because they have to do this anyway, and... all their other options are pretty disgusting. Gabriel deciding to just use the potion. It makes sense. It's no good to you if you're dead anyway, so... Alright, so we've reached the items on Gabriel's side. 300 rupees. Heart container. Piece of heart. I don't know, it's starting to look like maybe Smith Chain was the logical play here. For progression. Or possibly there could be an item that's accessible in the back of Thieves' Town as well, and just a heart container behind Muldorm 2. So this is a required dungeon, but not going to be the answer today. At least not on the climb. Okay, 2 on the first round for Aga 2. That was just 1. 2, 1, 1. That is not where I would have stood for that, but this is actually a very difficult fight to do optimally, in case anyone's not aware of that. Like, the more you play this game, the more you hate Agatu, I feel like. Attempting to get the Clipe out to save a couple seconds, but was not able to get in the starting position. I feel like that's the hardest part of those kinds of clips. You have to get into the wall a little bit before you start doing the motions. Alright, well, so this at least led Gabriel directly to the mitts. So, Smith Chain, Ice Palace, back of Thieves' Town. All are places that could have progression, logically. Okay, so what Gabriel just did is something you're not supposed to do. It is fixable, but you need to be careful. When you mess with the camera like that, it creates a hard lock boundary. And you might have saw the weird edges on the screen to the right. So hopefully Gabriel is careful and cognizant of that, because we do not want him to lose all his GT progress. Okay. So nice job on that round for Obscure in the Aga 2 fight. Alright, I missed what Gabriel was doing, but he did avoid the hard lock. So we're getting the long swim to the village. Also, I don't know if anyone was counting, but it's possible there is an item in Eastern. I don't think there is, but I know I saw at least 2 items. Alright, so both have reconvened south of the village. We're gonna rescue our frog friend here. Alright, nothing on the smith today, so we are placing our hopes and dreams on the purple chest. Otherwise they're gonna have to make some even more decisions that they probably don't want to do. Routing divergence. Gabriel is taking advantage of the follower glitch and just gonna run it down. And it looks like Obscure is setting up a portal save. Okay, just 20 rupees in the purple chest. Wah, wah. Alright, so Obscure has decided to bet on the back of Thieves Town. Gabriel... Looks like we're getting a first check of swamp play. There's a 1 in 10 chance that the small key is vanilla, and if that's the case, you will be able to progress into the dungeon and look for items. It's a pendant, but it's also green pendant. So Swamp has 6 items normally, and then plus the green pendant. I think it's 6, I don't know, it's been a while. It has like 5 or 6 items that aren't dungeon items. I don't know if someone cares to confirm or correct that. Alright, which, nonetheless, we're locked out anyway. Just 20 rupees in the first check. See where Gabriel decides to go now. Okay, we saw this King's Tomb earlier from Obscure. He did the Tomb Raider, and this was nothing. Okay, looks like we're getting ice from Gabriel. I mean, the hammer could just be here, and in which case you can complete the dungeon. Oh, Samaria in the Maiden Cell in Thieves Town. So this Thieves Town deep dip was required. A little early on the bomb placement for Gabriel, doesn't quite get a quick kill on all of those, but this is interesting. Deciding to check that way. The reason why you would maybe do it a slower way of going around is because it avoids using one of the small keys. He could have stolen an extra key from the berry room and still went around the long way in the cross room to check the pen gators. Okay, and apparently there was a sword on blind, which that is... Hey, that's at least something. I was questioning if, you know, obviously a little risky, but, you know, I mean, it might have been worth considering to just leave after getting that Samaria. I mean, like, there was no guarantee the item was on... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, the sword is not bad for wasting time doing the boss and the crystal cutscene and all that. There's definitely a good return on that investment. And we get a mirror wrap to access the back of Turtle Rock. And Quake is just here. So we could have had that earlier, not in logic, but that is one of the things we need. Now all we're looking for is hammer. At least collectively. Well, and all Obscure is looking for. So logic expects you to come through, quote-unquote, the normal way, but like using Samaria to go through this room. It looks like the big key is in the front. Obscure was here earlier in the middle. And this going the long way around is what Gabriel's doing is the reason why I was discussing the potential key stealing earlier. It would have avoided this going through that weird like bomb jump room, bookshop room. And unfortunately didn't find anything. Alright, so the big key in the compass chest in Turtle Rock, but Obscure is going to check the remaining 2 checks in the front, since he's already here. I don't know if I would think this fast while I was actually racing, but there is an argument to just mirror and do the boss, because you get put in the front anyway, so you could just come back for this right away. And it's nothing anyway, so back we go to Laser Bridge. Oh, Gabriel in Thieves Town. I'm really curious where this hammer's gonna be. This kind of feels like a hammer in Swamp Seed. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. Oh, not quite getting the double spin, but still a good kill on Trinex by Obscure. Alright, 4 crystals. So Obscure taking a definitive lead here, both crystal-wise and item progression-wise. Gabriel not too far behind, though. About to get his Samaria, which will lead directly to Quake. So Samaria was in the Maiden Cell, which Gabriel just acquired. Alright, Obscure, remembering to kill the bird, because Quake does not kill the bird. And gonna be the first one to enter Mire today. Okay, nice blind from Gabriel. And nice Lufia boss music as well. Also getting his Tempered Sword and Blue Pendant. A heart container in the bridge in Mire. 1 item left here. Okay, TR climb again from Gabriel. Uh-oh. This is not the setup that I do for the mirror wrap, but that was clearly a mistake. Unfortunate soft lock there. And big key on the left side of Mire. Obscure. Gonna leave the cutscene chest behind. And also apparently the lobby Or no, he already got that. Sorry. Yeah, skipping the cutscene chest definitely makes sense here. And our second item is just rupees in the big chest. Okay. Oh no! I gotta teach Gabriel the speedrun setup for that. Because none of those issues are that can happen. That's really unfortunate, because he doesn't need this amount of time loss right now. Obscure actually having the flute spooky and glitched. Ugh, such a luxury. Alright, that looked good. Gabriel getting to Laser Bridge, Obscure, into the Vitreous fight. Picking up his Quake. Just a little bit of lightning from our big eyeball, but not too bad for Obscure. Gonna grab his 6th crystal, and still no sight of the hammer. No, I'm sorry, that is the 5th crystal. Oops. Yes, we still have to do ice and pod. Where are we going? I think Obscure forgot something. Well, either way, he's giving time back to Gabriel, is making the race more interesting. Because Obscure definitely did this earlier. He just had one of those, like, panic, like, forgot. Did I already check this? It is quite stressful to do these races, especially in a tournament. I can say that from experience. But keeping like good mental order is definitely something that is not a given. So Obscure back into GT, and this makes sense. We have a bunch of stuff we can do with Samaria here. And this is the most dense location left. Could potentially have our hammer. I don't know if I'd start with Tile Room, already having the big key, but I would definitely come back for it later if I didn't find anything. Either way, Tile Room is kind of like cross keys. It's something that you just usually you have to do it in this mode. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. We had to do that. We didn't have a small key. I'm sorry. Forget everything I just said. Oh, not everything. Just the part about skipping Tile Room, because that was not going to happen. Whoops. Okay, shield, 5 rupees. Compass in the compass room. Map also in the compass room. That we are going to carry on. So we have 4 more things we can get. No, 5 more things. And we know none of them are map, compass, or big key. Oh no. Don't blame Obscure at all for having a bit of trouble with that room. That room's pretty awkward. Usually nobody does it often enough to really have a strat for it. I know there are strats that exist for it, but I personally can't remember one that doesn't involve tape or burn-in. Okay, so Gabriel taking down Trinex. 4th crystal on the board. Okay, big chest of GT just bombs today. This has been quite a seed, I have to say. That misdirect with the mids and Samaria deep in Pendant Thieves Town. Definitely not a seed I would want to have to race, but it has been interesting. Alright, nothing in GT. Interesting. You know, I did just say it a little bit ago, but this is really starting to feel like a Hammer and Swamp seed. Obscure doesn't know that it's not in ice, but Gabriel does. And it looks like Obscure is going to do the swamp play. Oh, actually there is... I forgot. There is one item in Hera still. It's either in the basement or in the big chest, but because of the seed layout, the Hera big key was not accessible. And Obscure elected not to check this big chest when he was in Mire, which is the logical way to do it. So Obscure is going for a bomb clip here. I personally don't favor this setup anymore, but it does work. You just have to know how to adjust it correctly. I'm not sure what the thought here is by not resetting the dungeon, though. Because since we don't have the big key, maybe he just wants to find the swamp big key. Okay, never mind. We could just get lucky, and then what I'm saying doesn't matter. So the swamp big key is now the Hera big key for Obscure. And there's nothing in the chest anyway. So... looks like... and we're gonna go to left side first. Alright, nice diver down for Obscure. But Gabriel had more keys than Obscure. That's interesting. I wonder if he grabbed the pot key when I wasn't looking. Because he's doing what I thought was a better idea and putting tile room last in this route. Alright, left side swamp. 20 rupees. And 50 rupees. Alright, we still got the back. And there are 2 checks in the front, although we know one of them is nothing because Gabriel checked it earlier. The very first chest was rupees. Okay, the hammer in the flooded chest in swamp. What a seed. Alright, so Obscure is in go mode at 1 hour and 26 minutes and firmly in the lead. Well, it could have been worse, though. I was thinking it was going to be the last item in Hera at this rate. There wasn't really a whole lot of places it could be. Okay, Obscure, they're doing a bomb clip through the front wall of ice. It looks like he did elect to do that key steal strat that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he stole the key because that room wasn't guaranteed to have a key. Although, he didn't technically have to, but... If you don't have hammer or glove, though, then you do want to steal the key if you're doing the Samaria route. Half magic makes a nice, quick, and easy kill. Alright, so Obscure just has to do Helmasaur now. A nice use of the Samaria block by Gabriel. I do like that strategy. It gives you extra time to do the clip. Obscure is buying bombs. This makes sense. Maybe he just doesn't trust that he's going to get the clip on the first try. I did get it in the first try, though, nonetheless. I'm always surprised to see people do that method, because we have the Instaclip way to do it now, but sometimes the way you know is just the way you know. And it takes effort to learn new things. That is a fact. Alright, Gabriel takes down Vitreous, claims his 5th crystal, and Obscure into the Helmasaur fight. Doing some sword out, hammer. Gabriel back into Myers, probably thinking to clean up Hera and Swamp. Silvers are just on the boss. Okay, Bow and Pod, very classy game. I did not see your comment, Malmo. World record does that clip? I mean, does that mean it's actually faster, or is it just the way he likes doing it, though? And just the fact that it requires adjustment and more inputs would make me think that it's slower, but it just depends what you're comfortable with, would be my guess. Obscure, about to drop into Ganon. Gabriel showing us a nice dash citrus. It's the more contemporary way of doing that clip. It does not require a bomb or health. Alright, Obscure getting the 1-in-1. Doing a mixture of hook blocking and face tanking. So we have red mail, who cares? Obscure taking it nice and easy. Does not want to make a mistake here. We're going for 4 single arrows, but gets the job done nonetheless. Please, everyone, let's get our GGs in chat for ObscureLifeForm. The winner of today's race, the first in a best-of-3 match, finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 14 seconds. Honestly, not too bad for how rude this seed was. So, congratulations to Obscure. And Gabriel has decided to forfeit upon the news. Can't blame him, really. This was a horrible seed, so let's get our GGs for him as well. We'll see about getting them for an interview in a second. Okay, we are joined by the winner of today's race, ObscureLifeForm. Congratulations.
Thank you, GG's.
So, how do you feel about that seed?
That was so mean. That was meanest seed I've played in quite a while.
It was... Sorry, I was just gonna say it was quite bad, I have to say, from watching that, but...
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you about to say?
No, I was going to say the chain to get that hammer, like the logical Samaria and Maiden Cell in Thieves Town without the hammer. Like that, like the only reason I went there is because I got those mitts. And I was kind of like, okay, mitts has to be progression. So that basically means Smith Chain and Ice Palace. So I was like, I'm going to do Smith Chain because I really don't want to go to Hammerless Ice. And then I was like, I'm kind of here in the vicinity of Thieves Town. I was like, there's 2 items, let me dip it. I was like, like, this is a bad seed anyway. I was like, let me just see what's in here. So I was quite surprised to see that, and in Logic as well.
Yeah, I thought the mitts were going to be progression as well. That was quite the red herring there. And we're joined by Gabriel as well. GG.
GG's.
GG's, Gabriel.
Yeah, so that was a pretty bad seed, as we were just saying. And I even did call it, like, partway through when you guys were running out of stuff to do. I was like, this feels like a hammer in swamp seed. It really does, because just everything, you guys are just checking everything, and everything sucked the whole time. Like, from midway in the race, you guys, like, didn't have completable crystals. You guys were scrounging the overworld, like, looking for stuff. Yeah, that was quite a seed, and quite a seed for a race as well. I don't know if you guys want to discuss or compare routes. I think one of the big differences was Gabriel went to ice, but didn't find anything, obviously. And there was
makes sense.
A few route divergences here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go into Swamp earlier, when it was just like 3 items from Go mode, the Quake, Samaria, and Hammer, but I was like, let me go and check Maya just in case it's Quake Lock, and sure enough it was. So like at that point, like Swamp just completely went out my head for quite a while. Because once we got the Samaria and then the Quake almost immediately in the back of Turtle Rock, it's kind of like, yeah, I've got loads of other things to do now before going back to Swamp.
Gabriel actually did check the first chest in Swamp earlier. I thought that was interesting. I don't disagree with it at all, but you never know. It's logical. It could be progression, or it even could be key, which I believe would put the rest of the dungeon into logic, given having flippers and mirror.
Yeah, I was thinking it could be a key because, well, I had her a key, but I just, well, I can waste this key on basement, so let's see the first check can be a small key, and I can do also pass.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with it. You never know how these seeds can turn out. Malmo is saying in chat that the compass room couldn't have had the hammer. Not sure why that is, but perhaps you would like to explain. Maybe because of the key layout? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think as well, but for as far as I know, like, hammer can be anywhere in swamp, but I'm guessing there must be a reason. Probably something to do with the key. So I don't think I actually found the swamp key anywhere. Probably in the back somewhere, I'm guessing.
Okay, alright. So the logic isn't, she was saying about the GT compass room couldn't have hammer, and I'm realizing from this explanation that the logic is actually not that much different than the key sanity seed logic, which I actually know more about than non-key sanity dungeon logic usually.
I was thinking that as well. Like, that's why I went straight to tile room, because I was like, if a small key is here, then it opens up GT compass room. That was what my logic was, because I was like, because the only key that was available to me was the key under the pot, and I was like, if I burn that on the middle door, then I'm locked out this dungeon without the hammer. That was my thoughts anyway. Unless I've missed something.
Oh, that makes sense. And I said something in the commentary that was actually incorrect. I was thinking maybe that you come back for tile room later, but you didn't have the key in the first place, as you said. And what Mal was saying about the logic with compass room. So that's just a slight mistake on my part. That's interesting. But yeah, this was quite a seed.
It was. It took us on a journey. Hey, GG's. We got there in the end, I guess. And I think we've set up game 2 for same time tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, alright. Very good. Do you guys have any other thoughts about the seed or anything else you want to say before I read up on the schedule for anyone that's interested and close this out here?
Just thanks for doing comms, and thanks, Mr. Buyer, I believe, was doing tracking.
Yes, a big thank you to Mr. Buyer for that.
And I won't roll tomorrow's seed, I promise.
Well, up to you. But congratulations again, and GG to Gabriel. So thank you both for playing, putting on this great show for us. Starting in... Sorry, I'm getting my time zones mixed up here. It looks like starting in 7 minutes, approximately, is Secretly a Sliver versus a Physial Alex 2K. And that's actually on this channel, so stay tuned if you would like to see more HMG. And tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, the rematch, gabrieljcampos versus ObscureLifeForm. And tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, it will be Chex Human versus Bread Coon. And at 9 p.m. Eastern, Skelly versus Spleeby. So, and we have matches actually scheduled up to Friday this week, so we've got a lot going on. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. And a big thanks to everyone again, Mr. Buyer, our racers, and thank you to everyone for watching. And I am JD Silvergun, and we will see you next time.